So I'm skeptical if Christians knows about this, but listen.
Jesus never wrote down a single word, not one. Everything we were taught comes from stories written decades after his death by people who never met him. So we don't really know Jesus. We follow a version of Jesus, built, edited, debated, and sold by human beings. Here are some of the facts. The earliest gospel, Mark, wasn't written until 40 years later, passed down through oral tradition shaped by memory, bias, and agenda. And those names, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the church attached those names later. The original authors were anonymous. Then, some 300 years after Jesus walked the earth, Roman Emperor Constantine summoned 300 bishops to create the Bible. They sat down and decided, this gospel stays, that one goes. This is sacred, that is heresy. Every verse you ever read passed through a filter, and today there's over 45,000 Christian denominations, each one convinced they have the correct version of who Jesus was, what he said, and what he meant. 45,000 different answers to the same questions. That's not divine clarity, that's human interpretation. So before you quote scripture, ask yourself honestly, is this actually true? Is it accurate? Because the real Jesus, he never got to speak for himself.
So I'm not gonna lie, this really raises uncomfortable questions. Jesus really didn't write a single word down. Because what people actually believe today were stories written decades later by others. The church leaders then decided what stays and what goes. Translations happened, interpretations split, and now there are thousands of denominations. They are all claiming to have the truth. And now, this raises an uncomfortable question. Are you actually following what Jesus says, or are you actually following the humanity interpretation of Jesus?